Okay, Team Naya, you get your girl back today. I know you'll be very excited and she'll be very excited to see you. I put together this video for some tips for you to keep in mind with Naya as she returns. Naya, good settle, good settle. First, go settle. This really helps her redirect her attention and also has calm behavior. Good settle, Naya. So great times to work on this is when you're in the kitchen preparing food, when you guys are eating your breakfast or dinner, when you walk in the door, you can ask her, go settle. Go settle when you're doing homework or reading or on the computer, but this is a great way to have her relax and settle. And having a nice long down stay can help keep the dogs calm and relaxed in general. Good settle. Good settle. You might hear other dogs in the background. They get a little bit jealous because I'm working with the other dogs. Good girl, Naya. Good settle. Other keys to keep in mind with Naya, we worked on leash walking. She still has a fear when she's walking on leash. And to tell you the truth, I couldn't find the rhyme or reason when she just stops and doesn't want to move. I don't feel it's because of heat. It might be because she doesn't want to go in a certain direction. It might be because she's afraid of something, but I couldn't figure out exactly why she's stopping. So, keys to when you're walking with her is using high reward treats. When she is walking nicely, reward her for walking nicely. Good settle, Naya. Good settle. When she is walking nicely, reward her for doing so. And then occasionally pick up your pace, move a little bit faster so that it keeps your walks unpredictable. If she can predict where you're going and she doesn't want to go in that particular direction or leave a certain situation, then she might put on the brakes. So if you can make your walks random, go different directions, go across the street, pick up your pace a little bit, that'll help her on her walks. What Naya prefers instead of walks, what she loves to do is go to the park and smell. Or on her walks, she just likes to smell. So instead of thinking that you have to exercise her formally by walking with her, think of taking her to the park on a long leash and just allowing her freedom to smell. This will really help get her exercise, mental exercise, and she does get physical exercise too when she goes to the park. But also on the walks, you might think of short, positive walks where she's just smelling versus taking her for a 30-40 minute long walk where she's going to be stopping and fighting with you part of the way. As she has more exposure out and about, it should help. I've noticed a difference with her in these last 2 weeks, but again, I've only had 2 weeks and a lot of it was rainy, so I wasn't even able to walk her as much as I normally would have just due to the massive amounts of rain that we received. But keep in mind of what Naya likes, what she wants, and instead of going for those long walks, maybe you go to the park or you're just going on a smell walk. Working with her separation anxiety. So what I did is I made sure she had alone time. I worked with her crate and she was comfortable in the crate with chewies and toys. I made sure that she was out on a smell walk before she went into her crate, and she had time alone. I find a lot of times with what has happened this past year with COVID, many people were not leaving their dogs alone. So now that things are opening up a little bit and we have to leave them alone, it's a little bit harder. But what you can do is utilize the crate or put her in another room at times where she's alone. Or just make sure when you do leave her, she has plenty of toys and safe chewies to chew on to help redirect her when you are gone. Good girl, Naya. Naya, go settle. Go settle. Good girl. Naya, go settle. Good. Now you might notice that Naya has a leash on her. I have the success leash on her to make sure that she will follow through with behaviors. I've had her for 2 weeks. I feel I've laid a very good foundation for you. However, I do still find she has a very strong sense of seeing my reaction to her behavior. So for example, when I ask her to come, she waits to see what I'm going to do if she doesn't come right away. And having her on the success leash, I can ensure, instead of chasing her around, I can ensure that I can grab the leash and make her come to me. And that's going to be so important that you can follow through with her. If she doesn't go to her settle spot, you can grab the leash and put her on the settle spot. It helps set her and you up for success. So utilizing the success leash upon her return will be very important as well. But you have a good foundation. She's calmed down a bit. I know you have a very busy household with 2 young children and Naya, so it's basically 3 kids that you're working with. But as long as you follow through with her go settle, make sure that she comes to you when called, utilize her success leash, and bring high reward treats on your walks, or allow her just to smell on the walks, you're going to be fine. And remember, I'm always here to help.
Now with Naya out and about, I still right now would not let her off leash. She really calculates of whether it's in her best interest to come to you when called. Now Kona's pretty good with his recalls, so let's see what happens here. Now these two just absolutely love one another. They wrestle all the time. But you may notice that Naya has a leash on her, and that is so that I can get her and follow through with my requests. I can't express enough how important it is that you follow through with Naya. The reason being is the moment you don't, she is going to revert back to old behavior very, very quickly. Okay, Kona, Naya, come. Puppies, come. Hey, puppies, come. That's my good boy. Good boy, Kona. Good girl, Naya. Actually, I'm surprised Naya came. Good, come. Good, come. Because they were both playing so hard. Good, come. Good, come. Good, puppies. Good, come. But again, if Naya did not come to me, I can go ahead and take her success leash and follow through with with coming when called. Okay, go play. Follow through with coming when called, and then follow through with what I was going to ask next. But following through is one of your keys with Naya. Good puppies. Good boy, Kona. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Good boy. Okay, Naya. Oh, going potty. Okay, sweetie. Good boy, Kona. Good boy. Good. Naya. Naya. Come. Come. Oh. Naya. Hey, Naya. Naya. Come, Naya. Good. Come, Naya. Good. Good. Come, Naya. Good. Quiet, Kona. Good. Come. Good. Come. Good girl. Okay, Naya. Naya, go settle. Naya, go settle. Good girl. Stay. So before going out on your walks, you're going to ask Naya to go settle. You're going to ask her to go settle for when you walk through the door, when the kids come home, when you have guests come over. Good. Go settle. Stay. Your settle is going to help prevent the jumping and help her settle. Okay. Now before walking out the door, you're going to ask her to stay. Naya, sit. Naya, sit. Silly girl. Good girl. I hope you noticed there I said sit, and I paused for her to think about what I asked. I didn't repeat the behavior over and over again because I would like her to sit when she hears the word one time only. Naya, sit. Good. Stay. Stay. Okay. She should stay when I open the door, so that prevents her from bolting out the door. Good girl. And now on my walks, what I have is hot dog. I also have that chicken jerky that she likes to reward her for. Good girl. Paying attention to me, up with me. So continuous reinforcement is key on your walk right now until she builds her confidence. Good girl. Again, I don't know if she was stopping. I don't know why she was stopping, and that's one of the most important things that we need to figure out is why she stops, but I actually can't. Good girl. I actually can't. Don't understand the exact reason why she stops, because it's so random. I've tried keeping a log, and what the one thing that I notice is that she stops in the beginning of her walk. Oh, she loves to smell, so I definitely allow her to smell. Okay, Naya, leave it. Good girl, sweetie. Good girl. Good girl, Naya. Good girl. But if she's smelling too long, I'll ask her to leave it and we'll continue walking. That's a good girl, Naya. That's a good girl. So she's a funny girl. She's a funny girl. She's so fun-loving, but she definitely has little quirks about her. But I know with having 2 young kids at home, Naya is pretty much your 3rd young child. So I know you guys have a lot on your plate. She does love to get out, but I think what she loves most about getting out is smelling. Okay, Naya, let's go, sweetie. Let's go. Good girl. Good girl, Naya. Good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Sometimes picking up your pace on your walk too can also help redirect her. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl, Naya. Picking up your pace can also help keep her attention on the walks. Good girl. Leave it. Leave it. Good girl. Okay, sweetie. Good girl. Now, one thing is, Naya, let's go, sweetie. Naya. Naya. Okay, so she's stopping here. She doesn't want to turn back and go home. She sees other people walking, so she's distracted with that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to turn around and pick up my pace. Naya, let's go, let's go, let's go. That's a good girl, that's a good girl. A lot of times picking up your pace can help redirect the dog's attention. That's a good girl, that's a good girl. And now that I have her, I'll go ahead and reward her. Good girl. But on your walks, if she's pulling, you can either stop or stop and walk backwards, or just turn around and walk the other way. So right now she wants to smell. Leave it. Leave it. That's a good girl. And then pick up your pace. That's a good girl, Naya. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl. But she's very, very much along the lines of, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. And that's why it's so incredibly important that you guys can follow through with the training. Naya. Good. Sit. That's a good girl. Good. Sit. Good. All right, you guys. I'm very excited for you to have Naya back. I feel I got a good foundation started for you, but you're really going to have to follow through and continue the training with her. So the key is high rewards on your walk, sometimes picking up your pace to help redirect her attention. If she stops, don't allow it. Don't stop with her. Pick up your pace. And a lot of rewarding for good behavior. So letting her know when she's walking that she's doing a good job by rewarding her. Use the success leash in the house to continue setting yourself and her up for success. And still continue to use a long leash at the park. I wouldn't allow her off leash yet. I just wouldn't. She's not at that level. as she matures and grows and has a good reinforcement history of coming when called, then you can. But right now, after, with her, she's not even a year yet, so several months of playing the you can't catch me game, it's going to take a little bit of time to break that. So I feel I'm on the right track. It's just going to be up to you to continue to reward her. But you definitely have all the tools that you need. You definitely have all the tools that you need to continue working with her, and just know that I am here to help you always. I'm your trainer, so any questions that you have, I am here for you. Aloha.